Ladies and gentlemen, this is a time that only happens a couple times a year. The season's coming to an end, but it's my favorite time of year. It's the state tournament. I'm Evan Florek, and I will be joined by Andrew Miller soon. I'm also joined by Ryan Parmenter. How are we feeling today?
So, how about you, Evan?
You know, I am doing swell. I mean, listen, UC got the 6th seed in the state tournament. I mean, we made it to the county finals just to lose to the number 1 team in the state, GL. You know, honestly, this season has been a success, all things considered.
So, as Evan mentioned, we did lose to the Governor Livingston Highlanders in the county final. And that is actually what dropped us down to the 6th seed. Because if we did not lose that game, we would most likely be the 3 seed and be getting a first round bye and facing the winner of Pingry and St. Augustine, I believe. However, since we lost that game, we are facing Pingry, and if we win today, we play St. Augustine at St. Augustine tomorrow. So, back to you, Evan.
Appreciate it, Ryan Parm. But listen, you know what? Governor Livingston's actually a pretty interesting story. I was at the game where they played against Point Borough, where they were down 5-1 at one point, considering the fact that this is an undefeated team playing what's got to be a 16 seed. Good God. But either way, they came back, loaded the bases. It was a walk-off hit. Lovely game, honestly. Had a great time with it. But we're here to talk about Union Catholic, of course. You know what? State tournaments are always really exciting. Of course, volleyball ended in heartbreak. Basketball ended in heartbreak. However, if there's any underdog team that I think can pull it off, it is the 6th-seeded Vikings for baseball. Of course, pitching for the Vikings today is going to be freshman Chris Tortorella. Of course, you see that when the lights are brightest, this kid levels up. You saw him in the county semifinals at Johnson versus Westfield. He really did everything the coach needed of him. And now, here's Andrew Miller. How's it going?
How are we, Evan? What have we talked about while I was changing?
Well, we talked about the Governor Livingston game. We talked about where we are in the state tournament and why we are the 6th seed, not the 3 seed.
Now tell me, Evan, why?
Well, it's because we lost to Governor Livingston in the county finals. If we beat Governor Livingston in the county finals, that we would be 3.
Yeah.
We'd be the 3 seed.
But still, I think 4 or 5 would have been a nice spot. 6?
If we win this, we play St. Augustine tomorrow.
And they are heavily underseeded. They are a top 10 team in the state, yet they are the 3 seed in this tournament, which is kind of absurd. They have the best pitching staff in America.
Good old PowerPoints.
Last year, we of course lost to them 4-1. I watched that on Jersey Sports Zone because it was too far away, but we were up 1-0 against an MLB draft pick in that game. Then they brought in another ace that they have. I mean, the whole team is full of Division I commits. They brought in another ace. They ended up moving on 4-1, and they ended up winning the state championship. So brutal loss there for UC. Lost the state champions eventually.
I always like to say there's not a lot of shame in losing to the eventual champions because they beat everybody else too.
And that's why that Camden Catholic loss in basketball would have been so much better if they ended up beating Berkeley Catholic.
Good God, because they were up by like 9 in the 4th quarter, and they got pacered.
Yep, they got pacered. We were at that game.
We were at that game. We are the greatest Camden Catholic fan section. You know, we are the greatest fan section of all time.
I have to agree. If any schools out there need a student section, me and Evan are your rent-a-fans.
$20 an hour. But man, we were at the Morris Catholic girls game.
Oh, we were the student section.
The Paldo sisters really are incredible.
How have you talked about the bracket, Evan?
You know what? Why don't you tell me a little bit more about the bracket?
Absolutely. So it's a traditional 1 through 16 team seeding, except for wait, is it 16? No, it is not. It is 12 in this kind of bracket.
Because the top 4 seeds get a bye.
In public school, it is 16 teams.
That's right. That's why GL is playing a 16
Indeed.
seed.
So it's almost like the 1 through 16, except the top 4 seeds, as you said, get buys. So with the 1 seed, it's CBA, top 10 team in the state. They'll get the bye. In the 9-8 matchup at the game is being played at Rutgers Camden.
Really?
That's an interesting one. Loki kind of sucks for St. John Vianney, right? For Paul VI, right? Because you get, the home field advantage, but then you end up at a neutral site. That's kind of strange. But anyway, it is St. John Vianney at the 9 seed versus Paul VI in the 8th slot. Then Immaculata. Ooh, that was 2 days ago.
Zoink, Scoob.
Game already happened. Anyway, though, it was Immaculata that has the 5th seed versus Camden Catholic.
Did they mercy them?
Potentially. Camden Catholic was up 10-0 against us last year in states, 9-0 against us, maybe 10-0, until Union Catholic performed the comeback of really, I'd say the decade for this
The
team.
millennia.
And it was Chris Wilson with the squeeze bunt to win the game in what was an incredible rally. I watched that in the car. I was screaming my head off. But anyway, yeah, Immaculata, most likely Mercy Candy Catholic. In the 4 slot, it's St. Joseph's Metuchen with the bye.
And so they will, Immaculata and St. Joe's will be playing tomorrow.
Yes.
At St. Joe's.
At St. Joe's. Actually, is that? Yeah, you're right. And then with the 3 seed, as we said, St. Augustine, whom the winner of this game, Union Catholic as the 6 seed versus Pingry with the 11 seed, will play St. Augustine at St. Augustine tomorrow. No rest for these pitchers' arms. In the 7-10 game, it's Notre Dame as the 7 seed. Kind of Notre Dame prep. I don't know why it just says Notre Dame. They're not Notre Dame. Anyway, though, then it's Donovan Catholic in the 10 slot. They will play at Notre Dame. And then in the 2 slot, it's Red Bank Catholic. Kind of unsure why they're the 2 seed. That's a PowerPoint mistake right there because they are not a top 10 team, I believe. Whereas CBA and St. Augustine, they are definitely top 10 teams. But anyway, the winner of the Notre Dame Donovan Catholic matchup will play Red Bank Catholic at Red Bank Catholic.
Listen, PowerPoints are very, very interesting. I will never quite understand how they work.
I think they should just make a college football committee and just seed it like that.
You know, honestly, I don't disagree with that. However,
as long as everyone gets in, that's fine. But I don't like having decisions being made that just like decides who gets kicked out. But seeding, I think just have people do it.
I actually don't disagree with that at all.
But obviously it does suck when your season ends because someone decided it ended. Like, that's not ideal. You don't want that to happen ever.
Of course not. I mean, that's not the move. But I think once you've determined the top 12 seeds, I think then you get people to order them out.
Absolutely. Because you need a human aspect to it, right? Math can only take you so far with something like this. You have to take into consideration a lot of things that, a mathematical equation just can't. Like strength schedule. Obviously you can try, but it's hard in high school sports.
Without a doubt. I mean, you see it in basketball all the time, really.
There's such an inconsistency to, each team's strength of schedule each year, right? Some years Union Catholic could be an elite basketball school. Some years we could just be average. It kind of depends on what's going on. A win versus Union Catholic in one year could be a lot different than a win versus Union Catholic in another year.
But you got to keep in mind, Union Catholic has very high standards for what they consider average. I mean, we finished 15th in the state. And
it was an average year.
Yes. You got to understand, this is the program of a lifetime, really. You have the number 21 in the country, ranked by ESPN, freshman Malik Moore, who will... I mean, listen, this guy has a future in basketball. He could be going to the league.
Could also have a future in lacrosse. I commented that on his ESPN commit post. And Coach Nate Johnson commented, hey, without a football team, lacrosse might be his next destination. So... Coach Nate Johnson might be a sponsor of the Malik Moore lacrosse idea.
If I know anything about lacrosse, it's that a lefty is devious, and Malik Moore...
self-glaze there for you, Evan.
Without a doubt. Of course, I was a former D2 commit before I tore my ACL.
I think he was. I have to agree that this kid had some wheels. And I mean, think about the wheels on this Union Catholic baseball squad. I mean, has Josiah Sharp been thrown out yet this year?
No, he is still 34 for 34.
And he'll look to make it 35, 36 today. Because whenever he's on base, it's an automatic green light.
Listen, whenever the guy's on first, basically consider it a double already.
Absolutely. I mean, it's obviously tough to go from second to third. Shorter distance for the catcher to throw. But at the same time, when you have a right-handed batter, it's harder for the catcher to make that throw because the batter is obviously in the way.
And you see, there's the thing. We have, honestly, freak athletes on this team. Of course, Sacred Heart commit, state champion, track athlete, Christopher Wilson.
Greg.
You got Greg.
One of the first players to play in a team sport in a county final in a single year.
Multiple.
Look
at that.
With basketball. Oh, wait. In his career, we'll say, because they didn't make the county final this year.
They did not make the county finals this year. They unfortunately lost
to
Roselle Catholic in a heartbreaker. Who then... Oh, Jesus, Plainfield.
Plainfield this year was something else. Not in baseball, though. We mercied them.
Yes, we did.
I mean, that was one great offensive game for the Union Catholic Vikings. Quite a lot of hits. Obviously, some errors by the Plainfield squad. But nothing like that Linden game versus Yale. I mean, 33-0. That was crazy. I commented on the post. United Nations, you got to look into this. It's got to be war crime.
You're not even wrong.
And I got 10 likes on that.
What?
Most like comment.
Look at that. You got to consider, one of the pitchers for Linden had a 94 ERA. The guy got 1 out, let up like 9 runs.
He's going to have a tough time getting some offers from college from that game alone. I mean, that man could be an elite pitcher for like the next 4 years, and his average is still going to be like above 3.
I mean, we also have to take this into consideration. GL is a top 20 team in the nation, much less a state. I mean, that's just ridiculous.
Completely agree. Now, of course, do we want to get into the lineups a little bit?
Absolutely. Where are the lineups? They're in here. Oh. I got you.
So
start with Pingry,
of course,
because they are batting first.
We will start with Pingry, of course. First up to bat will be Joaquin Stevenson. I like the name Joaquin. I'm a big fan of it. Shortstop for Pingry.
We're upgrading to paper.
Ooh, look at that.
Old-fashioned.
I'm a big fan of paper, actually. Of course, then next, catcher Riley.
I'm not. I appreciate the trees. Call me the Lorax.
Oh, I do. Call me the Lorax. But next up to bat, catcher Riley Wong. Then center fielder Matthew Carreri. Then designated hitter Aaron Wu. Then second baseman Matthias Stevenson. Pitcher Michael Cardona. Third baseman Sam DeLaurier. First baseman Zach Zaslow. ZZ. Those aren't initials you see very often. Left fielder Matthew Hawk. And to end this lineup, right fielder Shane Varnekis.
And as we cover the Pingry offense, let's get into the Union Catholic defense real quick. Behind the dish, it's Braden Morrison. First base, Mikey Pellegrino. Second base today for the Vikings. Now this is a position that changes often. Today it'll be Anderson. He is the ace. So sometimes that position really flips around. Today it does not. It's Anderson in that second base slot. Shortstop never changes. It's always Mr. Greg Valoria.
Of course, the icon of Union Catholic Livestream. That video of Greg's promposal has over 30,000 likes now.
My comment alone has over 500 likes. That's crazy. I remember the first day we were like, oh, it has 500 likes. That's a lot. My comment on my own has more than that right now. How many views are we at right now? No. How many views?
150 at least.
No, I think 440.
No way.
I think we're at 440K. But anyway, third base, it's Luigi Sacca. And then to the outfield, I mean, probably one of the most athletic outfields you can think of. In right field.
Of course, in right field, we have Brian McCabe, son of a pretty decent track coach.
He's done well for himself.
He's done all right. In center field, of course, we have the Sacred Heart commit, who I've mentioned one too many times already, Chris Wilson. And then, of course, in left field, you have the 5 feet of fury, Edward Waters commit, Josiah Sharp.
Mr. Top 10 on New Jersey Sports Zone. That was a great play right there, and he got his flowers from them.
Without a doubt, I'd buy that guy flowers, to be honest with you. That was impressive.
Oh, that'll be in the group chat later for that baseball team.
Taking his talents to Florida next year, I am thrilled to see it.
And then on the bump, of course, it's the freshman,
Chris Tortorella. I mean, you saw him versus Westfield pitch just over 6 innings. Just under 6 innings.
I think just over, actually.
No, just under. He went through 5.5.
5 2/3, yeah.
Just about. Then, of course, you had Luigi Sacca closing for him.
Very excited to get this game underway. Pingry, we apologize, folks. Did come a little bit late. They have a school policy where you cannot leave school before 2:30. And, of course, it's a longer ride than 30 minutes, so game is going to be delayed no matter what.
That is a travesty.
Got to make sure you put the student before the athlete right there.
That's why they're called student athletes. You gotta love it. And so...
Call me Drake. You gotta love it.
This guy.
Mic test, mic test. That was not mic.
Testing, testing. Test, test. 1, 2, 3. Testing, testing.
It's like choppy.
Fouled back. Of course, Tortorella starting on the mound. You'll love to see it. Fouled off again. Joaquin Stevenson looking down at 0-2, I believe. A little bit high. You gotta love Coletti's faith in the freshman. I mean, you saw it in arguably the biggest win of the season versus Westfield. Fouled off yet again. Made that 2 strikes. To send him to the finals for the first time since 1984. Spoke to a member of the class of 84. She was actually completely baffled. But you gotta love the faith in the freshman. Ropes one out to right field. Slips right through Pellegrino and Anderson. So, got a man on first. Batting now, Riley Wong. Catcher.
Runner goes.
Man is safe. Man is safe.
As Lenny makes a trip up to the booth.
Shout out Lenny. He has clawed his way into this rotation throughout the season.
Early trip to the mound here. Wonder what this will be about.
I mean, no, it's not a mound visit. Morrison's just talking to his pitcher.
It's a mound visit by the catcher.
No.
Yeah, that's a mound visit right there.
Whatever you say. Pellegrino standing way in field here.
Going for a bunt. They're going to get him. He's in a rundown now. And Greg makes the out right there. Bad base running there by Pingry, but great execution there by the Vikings, realizing that one failed. And then Braden Morrison having the awareness to realize that because they thought that the ball was going to be successful, he got caught in a rundown right there.
Absolutely stunning defense really there by the Vikings. I mean, you saw Pellegrino go into the infield. You saw Anderson rotate over just in case. Hammered into the trees.
And for Mr. Coletti right there, that's what you practice in practice for hours upon hours. Bunt defense, making sure the entire defense is on the same page, having awareness, and that right there erases the early hit that Tortorella just gave up.
Of course, 2-1 pitching coming here. 1 out in the top of the first. Fouled up into the net. 2-2 here. Window
Shopping, Evan. You gotta get on that. Window shopping.
Who shops for windows?
No, you're like looking in the window.
Window shop, whatever.
You're window shopping, you're looking through the window. You're frozen.
I don't shop for windows personally. Either way, Tortorella gets his strikeout of the day. And now batting Matthew Carreri.
Big hack there.
Nothing but the wind.
I felt that swing from here.
A little bit outside for ball one. Swing and a miss yet again.
I mean, it's not a hot day, but I appreciate the air conditioning from these swings.
Tortorella working a little bit of magic on the ball.
Oh my god, so I'm gonna be stuck with this now?
Barely made a bit of contact here. Still 1-2.
That's hammered. Deep center field.
Christopher Wilson.
Commit. He makes the play right there.
And that's going to end the top of the first. One hit, one man on base, one man caught trying to steal third.
Embarrassing right there. Gotta make sure that the base running is better when you are not favored in a game on the road. Those kind of things, when you have a runner in scoring position, can't happen.
Absolutely. I think the runner was expecting Morrison to try and pick off third.
Yeah.
That's just clever playmaking by the Vikings here. I mean, it's lovely defense to start. Let's see if they can get some offense going too in the bottom of the first in just a moment. Stay tuned.
Leading off the bottom of the first here is Josiah Sharp. Takes ball one. On deck right now, Craig Valoria. made that great play to run down. Second pitch right there hits him. He'll take first base. Now on deck is Chris Wilson.
Now, Gracie Taylor, could you tell me who's up to bat right now?
And number 2, Gregory Valoria coming up to bat.
Thank you so much, Gracie.
You're welcome.
Shortstop for the Vikes.
You got it ready.
He's never been thrown out this year. Gregory Valoria.
Josiah has never been thrown out this year.
I meant Josiah, sorry.
Say it.
Look for Sharp to go. He's going.
And there we go.
And there he goes.
He extends the streak right there.
35 for 35.
What a year he's had on the base path right there. 1-0 count here for Valoria.
This is how the Vikings win, playing small ball.
Right, one hit by pitch turns into a man on third.
And something to take note of here this season, the Vikings have actually only lost one game here at home, and that was to Summit earlier this season. And
It's low-key a fluke loss.
the 1-0.
There was a fence right here. That Braden Morrison triple would have been a walk-off home run.
Valoria takes that for ball 2-0. And what I was about to say is the Vikings have actually only lost 2 in a row once this season. They've actually done very well coming off a loss. The 3-0.
Now it's 3-0.
3-0. Sorry. Yeah, the count never really works on the board, but Valoria takes high 3-0. Picks off, and the ball almost goes to center field, but the shortstop, number 42, Joaquim Stevenson. That's a pretty interesting name there. Cardona's 3-0. Florek takes inside for a strike, 3-1. Cardona here looking to battle back from this 3-0 count with a runner in scoring position. Even if there's a blooper, there's a good chance that Sharp scores here, even with his great speed. Valoria calls time. The 3-1. Low ball 4, and the Vikings have something cooking here. 2 men on and no one out. And hitting for the Vikings is number 10, center fielder Chris Wilson.
And it'll be an early mound visit here for the Big Blue. As Pingry here wants to talk it over. They don't want this game to get, out of hand early.
And there's early action in Pingry's bullpen as number 16, Albert Hong, is starting to warm up on this mound visit, and Pingry just might be delaying time here to get him warmed up.
That would be a very, very early pitching change here for Pingry. Not a good sign for the starter.
I mean, not just that, but the Vikings have a very, very deep lineup, and they like to work counts. They like to work the small ball. I mean, if I'm Pingry, I'm being very, very careful of the small ball that they're going to play. There's great speed all around the bases with Sharp at second, Bloy at first, and then Wilson at the play. I mean, there's a gap. There's a good chance that 2 runs score and Wilson ends up on third.
Up to bat after the Valoria walk, it's the Sacred Heart commit, Chris Wilson. He takes strike one. That sequence right there, big time justification for why high school might need a pitch clock. I mean, wow. The pitcher just stood on that rubber for 20 seconds.
Well, I mean, to bring up the pitch clock thing anyways, the pitch clock in MLB when there's runners on base, I mean, it's 20 seconds. So, still though, I mean, that shows the importance of checking the runner, especially Sai. I mean, he has a pretty average lead, but even then he could steal third on that. And the 0-1 pitch is taken low and a good block by the catcher.
Check runner there. Josiah safe right there. The 1-1. Takes it for ball 2.
Let me tell you something, Andrew Miller and Ryan. I'm looking at the guys we have. We have Josiah Sharp at the second base, and we have an absolute monster hitting this baseball right now. I wouldn't put it anywhere near that area, and we could just see what happens if you do.
It'll be a sac fly. Josiah takes third base on the tag up. But as you see, Harrison, that man's got some power in that bat.
Runners now on the corners for the Vikings, and batting now. Listen, this starts the death lineup right here.
It really does. Braden Morrison hitting .500 on the year. One of the top sophomores in the state.
And Morrison actually is on the verge of a 40-hit season, which is very impressive for high schoolers. You know, they do not play that many games. Valoria goes, takes way outside. Throw goes to third. Sharp scrambles back.
Questionable right there. They checked Josiah on third base instead of throwing down to second base. Try to get the runner stealing.
Well, I know why they did that. If they throw to second, Sharp scores. So I mean, it's not surprising that they throw third.
Can't you just throw it straight back home?
Here's the thing, though. They can do that, but I don't know if their coach trusts the arms of the infielders enough to do that.
Interesting right there. What if you try a little fake throw where you throw it to the pitcher instead, pretending like you're throwing it to the second baseman, and then you throw it straight back home to get Josiah in a rundown?
You could do that. That's something that takes a lot of practice.
Yeah.
Because as a pitcher, you need to get down quick enough to make it look like they're actually throwing, but you need to pop up quick enough to make it look like, so you can actually catch the ball and pick off the runner. And something I've noticed actually is Morrison takes
ball 3.
Ball 3 is that this team does not like to throw a lot of fastballs. They like to throw a lot of breaking pitches, and I think that's because Union Catholic is a very good fastball hitting team.
It seems as though they're trying to pitch around a lot of these guys, but that's not going to work when you're starting to load the bases. But strike is called right there for a 3-1 count.
This begs the question, can they make the 3-0 comeback? You don't see it in basketball a lot, or hockey.
We're going to see it with the Knicks, though, as 3-1. Now it's pop foul. And Breda Morrison is caught out. No tag up right there. Unfortunate right there for Breda Morrison, right? You're trying to make contact in fair play. You want to try to improve that average. Send some runners home instead to fly out in foul territory. And when you hear that country song, you know who's up. It's Mr. Mikey Pellegrino. And I love the chirps associated with Mikey Pellegrino. It's always Mike, 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 Mike. Mike.
Big dumper.
As Mike takes ball 1. Was talking to him in his AP Lang class. Quite the academic he is. He seemed pretty cool, calm, and collected for this game.
Seemed excited. He was here early today. He was locked and loaded just a bit outside.
He's ahead in the count early 2-0. 3-0 count now. Potential 2-out rally here for the Vikings.
I mean, listen, if there's anything I know about this UC team, it's the 2-out run. It's absolutely immaculate, and that's going to load the bases right there.
I mean,
Now there's a lot of pressure because you cannot pitch around him anymore because obviously a walk will drive around home.
obviously they were not trying to hit. They were not trying to pitch either Pellegrino or Morrison there. I mean, those are two of the best hitters on the team. The fact that you have Wilson, the fact that you have a tandem of Wilson, Pellegrino, and of Wilson, Morrison, and Pellegrino. I mean, that's a ridiculous 3-4-5.
But hey, I still don't want to pitch to Anderson. I mean, that guy's got one great bat of his own.
You always talk about what's more dangerous, the 1, 2, 3, or the 4, 5, 6. I say it's the 3, 4, 5.
I do not disagree with that. But don't count out 6 right there.
Oh no, 6 is devious.
You got a guy warming up already. Bullpen action already.
Nick Anderson.
Anderson hits it back. We're at 0-2 here.
I mean, Anderson is known for fighting pitches off, working the count, making the pitcher really work, and a lot of Anderson's hit this year have actually come on 2-strike pitches. So it shows you that he's able to fight off good pitches and exploit mistakes deep in counts. And he takes low for strike 3. That looked a bit low from where we were, but Pingry coming up to bat.
That looked a bit low on Stevie Wonder's terms, but that'll leave everyone on base.
That's a tough one right there for the Vikings. You get a couple hits. Actually, you don't get a single hit. It's all walks, all hit by pitches, a lot of stolen bases. But at the end of the day, you don't drive any runs home, but you got the bats going a little bit. You work the strike zone, and hey, that's a good sign for later. You load the base in the first inning.
If there's anything I know, the Union Catholic Vikings manufacture runs. They didn't get a single hit. They got 3 guys on base with relative ease. Saya was very consistently getting a little lead off a third because once he gets going, you're not stopping him.
Absolutely. The potential for runs is there. I believe the runs will come later. No need to panic yet if you're the Vikings.
Without a doubt. So we'll see how Pingry answers. Little rally the Vikings made. See if they can get some runs on the board in this game. In the top of the second, stay tuned.
And to the top of the second, leading off for Pingry is the DH Aaron Woos. He takes first pitch strike from Tortorella.
Got a little check swing in there.
Whether that pitch was called a strike on the actual pitch or the swing, I don't know.
This is where Mevos come in handy, but unfortunately, we always experience technical difficulties up here in the booth. Takes a bit of time.
I mean, yeah, back to the Mevo thing. Literally, like 2 minutes before we were going live, I mean, it kind of crapped out on us as Wu fouls one straight back, 1-2.
0-2.
Sorry, 0-2. You know, here's the thing. The reason why I said 0-2 is the reason is because the scoreboard that is on the field is never particularly accurate. I mean, they're always a pitch behind or a pitch ahead. There's really the only thing that's reliable there is the score and the hits.
Very understandable. Maybe just a little bit high.
I mean, now the count's 1-2, I guess. So
You were a pitch ahead this time. We will hammer it into the trees.
you know, you'd actually be surprised the amount of balls that go back there. About once a week, we go back there and collect all the balls that are there. I mean, a lot of them are usually waterlogged. We have to leave them out to dry or just flat out throw them out. Because I don't know if you know, but once a ball is waterlogged, it's really impossible for the water to get out. 1-2 just misses outside. Good pitch by Tortorella right there.
Torts is starting off strong. He hasn't let a man pass first base yet.
Well,
That might be more to the credit of the Vikings defense as a whole.
yeah.
But the man on the mound really is the catalyst for that. Fouls one straight back yet again.
I mean, that play right there, I mean, the Vikings practice the play that Morrison picked off the runner at second and Florek tagged him out. I mean, they practice that basically every single practice for about 30 minutes every time. Basically, what their practice structure is for the first hour and a half, defense-oriented, and then the last hour is offense-oriented. And that ball is laced to right field, and and Brian McCabe makes a nice sliding catch there to get one down.
That was filthy.
Sliding on the knees. This kid's got a future in whatever athletics he wants to go into because the kid's a freak athlete. The guy joined soccer his freshman year. I've never seen someone pick up goalie that fast, to be honest with you. Monster athlete. Couldn't punt a ball straight, but who cares? Swing and a miss for strike one, Matthias Stevenson, the second baseman for Pingry.
Is that your brothers here with the shortstop and the second baseman? I mean, they both share the last name, so.
Perchance. Hammers one up, and away.
Stevenson quickly down 0-2 here. Tortorella's 0-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike three. It's Tortorella's second strike on the day already.
And 2 outs here. Vikings showing off a little bit on defense so far.
And up to bat for Pingry is number 45, the pitcher, Michael Cardona, who had a rough first inning but was luckily able to escape the bases loaded jam.
A bit shaky, but no runs will take it. Or he'll take it, I guess.
I mean that's a phrase, bend, don't break.
That's a great point, actually.
I mean, you see that all the time. Great pitchers are always able to get at a bad situations that they come in for or they potentially put themselves in.
Without a doubt, winding up for the 1-0. Hammered up. And those trees are feasting on balls today.
I mean, to me, what it looks like is that this team is basically late on everything. I mean, they've hit a lot of foul balls this inning. They've also, they made that nice hit to McCabe in right field. McCabe made a nice sliding catch, but I mean, to be honest, Wu looked like he was a bit late on that. I mean that was an outside pitch. You're obviously supposed to take it the other way and not pull it, but he looked a bit late on that.
Completely agree on that one. Goes outside. Inside. Now we're looking at a 2-1. 3-1, my apologies. That dang scoreboard. Way inside for ball 4.
I mean, thank you to Gavin Rysinsko for keeping our scoreboard basically up to time.
I'll tell you what, this is one of the top freshmen in the live stream industry. Gavin Rysinsko, you gotta love the kid. Does his little dance. And now batting.
The third baseman, number 6, Sam DeLauer. Delaurer?
Delorier?
That might be what it is. Delorier. Delorier cuts and misses on the first pitch.
That was a heavy windup. I'll tell you what, if he made contact, that might hit me in the face right here.
I mean, it might, but I will say this: the distance between home plate and center field is actually good amount. It's 385.
Good God. Nothing on the pickoff attempt.
I mean, if it makes you feel any better, that right field fence is from the range of 420 to 450. I can't seem to really remember.
Zoink, Scoob.
Right where that gate is, not where the softball dugout is.
Either way, it's dangerous stuff.
I mean, if it gets past you as a right fielder, I mean that's basically, depending on like how fast you are, that's basically a guaranteed home inside the Parker. So
that's a great point. 1-1 pitch here, 2 outs in the top of the second.
There he goes. He's running.
Tortorella way high. Barely safe on the steal.
and Cardona just barely beat the throw.
No, that's Sam Delorier on.
It's not. Delorier's in the one hitting. Wait, what?
Sam Delorier is currently
Bit confused here.
Are they batting out of order?
They might be, or they could just be hitting in place of a pitcher. I don't know. Anyways, the batter grounds it out to Pellegrino, and he's just gonna take it himself.
Pellegrino sprints as fast as he can back to first base, and that'll end the top of the second. With again, no one getting past second this time. Vikings strong defense. Ever since that ground ball was roped to left field, nothing has gotten by these Vikes. You'll love to see it. I mean, the Vikings got some strong offense going in the bottom of the first. Let's see if they can finally get a run in the bottom of the second. Stay tuned. Low inside corner of the strike zone to start the bottom of the second. Brian McCabe batting for the Vikings here. Of course, making defensive plays. And now making some offensive ones as he's going to smack one out to right field.
Left field.
Left field. Jeez. God, this is so confusing. It's like stage right and stage left. For any theater kids out there. I can close my eyes and tell you Luigi Sacca's up to bat. You gotta love Trap Queen.
No, definitely. McCabe also here a threat to steal. Really, the only ones that are not really a threat to steal are Sacca and Pellegrino, actually. But those are really the ones that end up driving in the runs. So it doesn't really matter.
That they're hard hitters. Bunting.
Watch that, follow that ball. First base. You got him.
They're gonna call him out.
I mean, from here, it was pretty bang play, but Sacca did look out.
It was very close though. McCabe now stands on second.
Yep, you're right.
And batting now will be number 3,
Lenny Pellegrino.
Aguero.
Damn, dude, I'm terrible at this today. Peguero, and he's DHing for Tortorella. And the first pitch is taken for a ball.
Bounced. The 1-0. He'll wait. He'll throw. A tad low yet again. Looking at 2-0 here. Should be mentioned, McCabe is the 4th man on base for the Vikings, but the first hit. Oh, what a collision.
He caught it.
An immaculate catch, though.
Wow, how did he catch that? Shortstop caught it. What's his name? That's shortstop's name.
And what a play by the shortstop, Joaquin Stevenson, going an absolute mile for that ball and collides into, I believe, the left fielder and the third baseman at the exact same time. And what a catch.
Lambert's losing his mind a little bit in the back. I'm sure you can hear his whisper commentary.
I mean, to be fair, that was a pretty good catch. I thought that was dropping all day.
That was immaculate right there. And now we're back to the top of the lineup here. Josiah Sharp, back to bat.
First pitch just misses. Oh, they called it a strike. Didn't make it. He didn't seem to make any signal.
There's great hang on that, actually. No, it was called a ball.
This scoreboard is so confusing.
That'll do it. That's why we have Gavin here. You gotta love Gavin.
Pitch was in the same spot and also called a ball.
You know, you gotta love consistency. My whole life's consistent, like the tide. 2-0 here.
What do you say?
He's on to the finals. I feel like that's not a bad thing to compare yourself to.
Cardona steps off.
Bounces for ball 3.
And that gets past the catcher. It's going to be ball 3 on Sharp as McCabe advances to third on that pass ball. Another scoring opportunity here for the Vikings, but let's see if they'll actually cash in.
2 outs is where the Vikings shine best. And now, we're 1 ball away from... Unfortunately, you can't do a sac fly here.
That pitch is called a strike. I mean, in all honesty, if I'm Sharp here, I'm taking Till. I'm taking this next pitch regardless, even if it's a strike or not. And the reason why I say that is because Cardona has thrown here a lot of balls, and as I just said, Sharp takes 1 for ball 4, and he's gonna get on base for the second time in 2 innings.
Way inside, however, it's good eye by Sharp.
And yeah, Sharp is an automatic threat to steal, basically. I mean, he's 35 for 35 on the season. So
I guess you could say he's got sharp vision. Batting now, Greg Valoria. He walked in his first at-bat.
And the aforementioned Sharp goes, and he's just going to go to second base uncontested.
Now 36 for 36.
I mean, that's absolutely an insane efficiency. 36 for 36. You don't even see that at the major league level.
No, you really don't. The kid's impressive.
I mean, up until recently, stolen base numbers were down, but I mean, with the uptick in, with the change in the CBA, which is a collective bargaining agreement, as Valoria takes strike 1, they actually made the base pass bigger and less pickoff attempts. So it would, how do I say this? It would basically warrant more runners stealing. And then you saw that in 2023 with Ronald Acuna's 40-70 season, which 40 home runs, 70 stolen base season. That Valori takes that pitch for 2-1.
I mean, you saw Shohei Ohtani go for 50-50.
I mean, he might do it again.
That's true. He almost had a 60-55. He's very close to that.
I mean, up until the last 2 years, basically the 40-40 club had only done by four people, and it's been done in back-to-back years. So, runners on second and third, 2 balls, 2 strikes, and 2 outs.
Make a wish, Parm. 2-2-2.
I'm a call.
Don't say it. Valoria swing and a miss. That'll end the inning. I hope you didn't wish for that.
I was actually going to hope for a double in the gap. And so far, the Vikings have left 5 men on base. That is a ridiculous amount through 2 innings. As the Vikings get no runs on 1 hit and 2 men left on base.
Very strong pressure, but cannot capitalize. Still no runs scored in the game, though. And I think that has to be accredited to the Viking defense. Now we'll see how that Viking defense stays strong in the top of the third. Stay tuned. I mean, a first pitch slam will drop into center field.
And leading off inning for Pingry was the left fielder Matthew Hawk. Hawk?
Hawk. I want to say it's Hawk. And now to bat right fielder number 30, Shane Varnekis.
Definitely a lot of variety in these names. I mean, outside of the middle infield tandem of Stevenson.
Yes, of course. Bunting here.
Tortorella's just going to take the easy out at first. 1 down.
Hawk will get to second, though. You love to see the pitcher making the right play. Someone called out 2. However, 2, Hawk was there in time. The smart play by Tortorella, getting the first out. Safe play.
Top lineup here.
Back to the top of the lineup as we have Joaquin Stevenson. Shortstop making defensive plays. See what he can do. Bunts. Good God.
And a great play by Tortorella and a great cover by Anderson to get Stevenson out. Whenever I think of Joaquin, I think of...
I think of Phoenix,
yeah,
too. I think of Phoenix. It's the only Joaquin I've ever known.
And up for Pingry right now is the catcher number 9 Riley Wong. And something like this inning that Pingry's really done is actually excel at what the Vikings do best. They play small ball.
I mean, listen, almost made it to first, actually.
I mean, that was just a great play by Tortorella and Anderson all together. I mean, because Anderson is supposed to charge first immediately, which he did. It's just the fact that ball was bunted so close to the mound that that Anderson had to basically rush over, and you saw he was on basically one knee to make the pick. I mean, he didn't have enough time to stretch out, and he beats him by literally half a step. So,
I mean, that half a step will make all the difference. You heard the first base coach screeching. I think they heard that back at the Pingry school. They heard safe.
I mean, something I've noticed throughout this game. I mean, I'll bet it's only been two innings so far. And this umpire's actually had a really consistent outside strike zone. The inside strike zone is yet to be seen, as not many pitches have been thrown inside. More have been thrown over the heart of the plate and outside. But he seems to have a consistent zone, as Wong takes strike 2. We got deuces again.
You gotta love deuces.
Or would it be considered trices, because there's 3 twos? No, try deuces.
Try deuces?
Try deuces, yeah.
Try deuces. Hammers it backwards. This net has been taking a beating today.
I mean, something that happens often is that balls get stuck at the top of the net, and what they like to do at practice is they like to throw balls up on the net, strike at those balls. You see those balls right there, Evan, right?
When I saw pregame, they were throwing a football at a soccer ball that was stuck up there. Hi. That net, probably upsetting Morrison a little bit. But you know what? That's kind of what the netting is there for, to make sure the balls don't get lost. Now they're just stuck up on a net.
Another reason that the nets are there is because it's to protect the houses behind the field.
Of course.
I mean, you go straight behind, there's a house. Actually, there's been multiple times where they actually have an unfenced property back there that every so often that balls get stuck in the trees and we have to go retrieve it.
It'll remain 2-2-2, and never mind.
Tortorella gets his 3rd strikeout of the game as Pingry leaves a man on third. 1 hit, no runs, no errors, and 1 man left on base.
Riley Wong caught swinging. And Tortorella continuing his very strong campaign to start the first round of states here. Now, the Vikings have left 5 men on base so far. We'll see if they can finally capitalize on the opportunities that they've very consistently gotten in the bottom of the 3rd. Stay tuned.
And leading off in the bottom of the 3rd for the Vikings is number 10, Chris Wilson, the center fielder. His last at bat absolutely smoked the ball to left field, about 10 feet in front of the track. First pitch, and it hits Wilson square in the back. Vikings have a quick base runner here. Wilson, a quick threat, always a threat to steal here, is the sophomore Braden Morrison, who fouled out the first his last time up at bat and is looking to drive him in here.
Ball is smacked out. Wilson's going to go for 2. Goes from corner to corner. Now Morrison on first, Wilson on third, and the Vikings in prime scoring position already.
And you already hear that country song. You already know who's coming up. Big Mikey Pellegrino, whose last at bat walked. And something to take note here is Braden actually is pretty fast as a catcher, so there's a good chance he might try advance from first to second on stolen base.
I tell you what, if this kid did any other position in baseball, listen, he can find himself the catcher, and good God, he is an all-state catcher. But man, is he a freak athlete. Hits backflips after good wins. Could you hit a backflip, Ryan Parm?
On a trampoline, maybe. Actually, not even then. Probably underwater.
I love a good underwater backflip. Either way, pickoff attempt on Morrison. Nothing.
I mean, obviously trying to keep him close here. Don't want a runner to advance. Don't want 2 runners in scoring position with runners with only 1 out, and Pellegrino fouls it off. But I mean, yeah, as I was saying, like you don't want a runner on second and third, no man out, with 2 great runners, great speed, and a great hitter like Pellegrino up at the plate. Because I mean, like any hard hit ball that goes is most likely going to score both.
Without a doubt. Pellegrino straight into center field. Morrison's going to go to second.
And he'll stay right there. As Pellegrino drives in Wilson. That's the first run of the game.
Finally, I mean, you love to see the Vikings capitalizing on their opportunities. Hits the windmill. And now we are in business. Vikings have all the momentum right now. So they now lead 1-0. Strangely enough, there have been 8 men on base now. And
only 1 has scored.
And only 1 has scored off of 3 hits.
I mean, it just shows you the lack of control that Pingry's had this entire game. I mean, they've had 5 walks?
Something like that.
Let's see. Wilson,
well, no, because there was a hit by pitch.
Let's see. Wilson got hit by a pitch. Sharp got hit by a pitch.
So that'd be 3 walks.
Pellegrino walked.
Bounces.
Walked. And that ball is bounced as both Pellegrino and Morrison are going to advance deeper into scoring position. But as I was saying, let's see. Pellegrino walked. Morrison fouled out. Wilson walked. Anderson walked, I believe. And then last inning, who was it?
Quite a few walks. I mean, listen, either way.
I believe it's 5. But
Pellegrino slide cancels into second. And all of a sudden, I have never seen a bigger leadoff. To be fair, there's no one at second to get him out.
Trust me. At the JV county final, not county final, sorry. At the JV opener round for counties, I saw Ryan Figueroa standing about 3 steps to the right of where the shortstop currently is. I mean, his infield in. No one was really going to catch him. Anderson takes strike 1.
I'm really liking the break on these pitches from Pingry.
I mean, it just shows that they've primarily thrown breaking balls, and the Vikings haven't really been able to hit them. But the issue is a lot of them have been balls. So, I mean, there's not really a chance to hit them. As
That's
Anderson
true.
skies it to deep medium left field, makes a catch, and
The sack fly.
And Morrison is going to score standing up as the Vikings take a 2-0 lead as Pellegrino is just going to stay there at second.
To be fair, the pitch was going straight to the shortstop. Makes a lot of sense to stay there. The throw. Not pitch. What am I talking about?
I mean, close enough.
Close enough, right?
I mean, if you're a runner, especially if you're not a fast one, you never want to go to third on a ball hit to left field.
2 runs for the Vikes. Only 1 out right now. Now batting, Brian McCabe.
No, it's 2-0. Chris scored, and then Morrison scored.
Hitting really broken open for the Vikes right now. Bounces. Pellegrino, the blue blur, going right to third.
I mean, I don't really know what happened there. I mean, from where it looked like, from where we were, it looked like he tried to kind of forehand that and just didn't really work.
It's been the break, but it's breaking a little bit too much, straight into the ground.
And then just off his glove, I guess.
It's plummeting down. It's unfortunate.
But
It's a nasty pitch when you can angle it right.
But I mean, you're a catcher. You're supposed to be blocking that anyways.
That's true. It's very true. Low yet again.
And he blocks that one. Two-0 pitch is called a strike. The 2-1 is McCabe grounds the pass to shortstop Stevenson. That ball's going to trickle into left field, and Pellegrino scores. This is McCabe picks up, I believe, his second hit of the game, and Vikings take a 3-0 lead.
You love to see it. The RBI single from McCabe.
Second hit of the game.
It's true.
Yeah. Him, Mikey, and then... Not Mikey. Him, Mikey, him, Mikey, and Braden have all gotten hit.
Pickoff attempt on McCabe, nothing.
And you know, this is actually crazy. This has been the best day in basically since Tuesday. Is Cardona's going to pick off again, and McCabe gets back just in time. I mean, basically this entire week it's rained. It's been really unfortunate.
That's true, and even then, the weather doesn't look perfect right about now.
I mean, it's cloudy, basically. And it's supposed to rain later tonight, I believe.
Oh.
And it's supposed to rain tomorrow night into Saturday. It's supposed to rain Saturday night, and then I believe Sundays once it all clears up for a while. McCabe takes off. Saka takes low.
He's going to slide in, kick the second base, way out of line.
I mean, to be fair, that base has lost its magnetic touch a long time ago. I believe when they lost it was my freshman year. It's been sliding ever since. So.
Did we not install this field our freshman year?
No, they just reinstalled the turf.
Ah.
Okay, so basically what happened is the field and the bases. So where the bases are, there's holes in them, and you put about
that makes a lot of sense.
You
actually,
put plastic plugs into them when the bases aren't in, and when the bases are in, there's like, so you obviously have the base, but then you also have the base holder, which is like a magnetic thing, and I guess the magnetic has like really worn off the second base because the amount of times that people slid into it. So they kind of have to get that fixed.
That'll do it, especially this Vikings team that steals second like it's clockwork. 2-0 pitch here.
And a good breaking ball there. Saka takes strike one.
I thought that was inside.
No,
Well, I mean, I thought it was inside at first, but then it broke beautifully.
Honestly, at the beginning, I thought it was going to hit Saka. But I mean, that's what a good breaking pitch does. It looks like it's going to hit. It looks like it's going to hit you, and then it just trickles back in the strike zone. But if you can sit on that and it's hung, I mean, you can absolutely crush that. Saka takes ball 3 outside.
Tell you what, I've talked about the 2-out rallies that the Vikings have done throughout this season. But even through just the one, they've got 3 runs.
And they have yet another base runner. Saka takes a walk.
And now waltzing up to home plate, Lenny Piguero.
I mean, yeah, really unfortunate what happened to him last time. Stevenson made a great catch on the foul line, climbing with both the third baseman and the left field at the exact same time.
And they're going to visit the mound. In all honesty, don't blame Pingry at all.
I mean, they might take Cardona out, actually. They've been warming up number 16, Albert Hong, since basically the
first inning.
The third batter of the game. So, I mean, and he's been throwing ever since. And you don't really want to have your pitchers throwing for that long of a time and not come in. So
the breaking is pretty, but
doesn't matter if you can't look at it.
If it's not in the strike zone, what good does it do you?
Not to mention, you can't really play it off that well against his fastball, because not only are the Vikings hitting his fastball really well, it's also just not really landing in for a strike.
It's very true. We'll see what Pingry does in just a moment. Stay tuned. Lenny up to bat now. Pickoff attempt on second. It's a rare move and a bit of a risky one, but McCabe remains safe.
Well, I mean, at the MLB level, the pickoff attempt to second is, as you said, rare, but at the high school level, it's pretty common. What's actually more rare is picking off to third, because if you overthrow them or just flat out miss the third baseman, I mean, that run scores. So,
right, I remember watching Braden Morrison get picked off in the bottom of the 7th on third base versus Summit, and that was a heartbreaker because he had a 3 RBI triple. Really, if this fence wasn't here, that's a walk-off homer.
I mean, there's been multiple hits, actually, that if this fence was not 380 or whatever it is, there's a good chance that they'd be home runs.
My mom just left. 0-1 here.
Saka fouls it off, and the previous pitch, it's not Saka, sorry. Peguero shows, on the previous pitch, Peguero showed bunt, and both Saka and McCabe advanced to second and third, respectively.
Saka currently stands on second.
Infield playing up here, trying to minimize the damages. Peguero fouls it off, just barely manages to keep it foul.
Barely keeping this at-bat alive here.
He was really early on that.
It's true.
And I think if Peguero gets on base, I think Cardona's done.
At this point, I like Lenny's strategy of just wearing out Cardona.
I mean, that's kind of what this team is. It's just grit. And Lenny fouls it off straight back.
Peguero liked to hang. I did too. But those trees are getting a Thanksgiving feast of baseballs today. And it's in the same spot every time. You notice that?
Yeah, I do actually.
I mean, generally you see a good variety of them going out into those trees. Deep into right field. You see a few of them in left field. Not as much.
And Lenny lines a base hit to left field. And Brian is going to score, but Luigi's going to stay there at third.
And now runners on the corners. And Lenny scrambles back to first.
Took an aggressive lead.
He stumbled.
Four spot for the Vikings.
Either way, RBI single. Several RBI singles we've seen today.
As the Vikings put up a 4 spot in the third inning with only one man out.
And they've gone through the entire lineup here in the bottom of the third. Now batting, Josiah Sharp.
That's not for another 4 months for you.
Vikings lead 4-0.
Honestly, I'd expect Peguero to steal it here. He's also pretty fast.
It's those soccer legs.
I mean, I've known him for a while. I've known him since kindergarten, I believe.
I'll tell you what, I've known him since maybe
September. As Lenny goes, and they're just going to let him get there standing up as Sharp takes the pitch for a strike, down 0-2 quickly.
Hey, Parm, 6 stolen bases in the first game. Mike's at 6.
And throughout this entire game, the Vikings actually have 6 stolen bases in their 2 innings and a third of them being at the plate. The 0-2 pitch. Sharp takes it low, and it's a good block by the catcher, Wong.
I mean, way to make yourself big back there. That's just clean catching. On an off pitch there, you gotta keep it safe.
I mean,
make sure Saka can't go home.
If anything, Wong made it harder on himself by moving out the way, kind of. His 0-2 pitch is good breaking pitch there as Sharp strikes out for the second out of the inning. And Florek coming up for his second at bat of the inning.
Second at bat of the inning isn't one you hear very often. I mean, especially after the first 2 innings we had, I wasn't sure we'd ever hear that.
I mean, those were quote-unquote quick innings for the lineup at least, but in all actuality, each inning was probably 20 minutes. And right now, Cardona's breaking ball seems to be really working here. As that's two consecutive pitches that he's landed in for a strike.
Greg liked the hang. It's going to drop right to the shortstop. Joaquin Stevenson making plays, ends Really a brutal bottom of the third for Pingry.
I mean, the Vikings score 4 runs on 4 hits and 2 men left on base with no errors. I mean, that's a phenomenal inning if you're Coach Coletti here.
That is absolutely stunning. And you know what? This offense leveling up is exactly what you need to see. If you would like to level up here at Union Catholic Livestream, feel free to reach out to Mr. Lambert, Mr. Bonadies, or one of us. Well, of course, the season is ending. I don't believe we have any more streams after this. This might be the last one of the year.
Yeah, this is our last one of the year.
But I'll tell you what. You know what I want to see? I want to see tomorrow. Boys versus girls lax in a scrimmage together.
It's not over tomorrow, because once we win this game, we're going to ask St. Augustine to stream that game. We're going to take the trip down south, going to stream that game. We're going to beat St. Augustine. Then we're going to host the game because there's going to be some upsets that occur, and then we're going to live stream that game. And then we're going to go to wherever the final's at, and we're going to stream it at Rutgers. You better believe it. We're not done yet. This Vikings team is not done yet. Have some belief, have some faith, and we're going to have some more streams, baby.
I'll tell you what, in the second round, we are 0 for 2 on going to away games in the second round. We saw volleyball versus Notre Dame, lost that. We saw basketball versus Camden Catholic, lost that. But if the Vikings can keep up the momentum, we'll go see if we can go to St. Augustine, make it 1-2. Because, listen, if there's anything that I know about these Vikings, this Vikings baseball squad, they are playoff performers, okay? You saw it in the counties. You're going to see it in states.
You know, actually, welcome back. I mean, it's already the top of the fourth. I mean, Morrison's already throwing down. And we just talked for that long, I guess.
I suppose Miller had a lot to say about our future in the live stream booth.
Yeah, and I hate to break it to you guys, but we unfortunately cannot stream St. Augustine's game. A, because they already are streaming it down there, and I believe you have to pay for it. And B, if we were to stream, we would have to leave school at around 11:30.
I'm okay with leaving school around 11:30.
I mean, I am too, because the game starts at 2, but still.
Top of the fourth here. Immediately smacked out to center field.
And number 14, Matthew Carreri leads off the inning with a single up the middle. Their third hit of the game. Now batting for Pingry is number 2, the DH, Aaron Wu. Takes first pitch, strike in the outside corner.
I think it's really funny watching Carreri go off at first base, do a little shuffle, and then walk right back.
I mean, it's because he's trying to get Tortorella to balk. That's why he's doing that. He's trying to get him to twitch. Morrison picks off first, but Carreri gets back just in time.
A smidge high.
On
So
both
it'll
throws,
be 1-1.
actually.
You're right, on both throws. Nothing on the pickoff. It sounds like 5 Ryan Williams in the Pingry dugout. All going, no, no. Very high pitched, like hyenas.
And he grounds it back to Tortorella, to Valoria for 1, to Pellegrino, off the base, and they'll just get 1.
Either way, that's a lovely defensive play there by Valoria. Even if the throw was just a smidge off, that right there is lovely baseball.
As long as you get 1, that's what's ideal.
Keeping the man off second, not letting anyone advance. You're still looking at the exact same situation, now with 1 extra out, 1 out in the top of the fourth.
Matthias Stevenson, the second baseman, come to bat here. Now I have a question. Would we consider that Valoria throw an error, or would we not? Or would we just consider it a fielder's choice, considering how they still ended up getting an out?
I would consider it. I don't want to consider that an error.
Wu runs, and Stevenson's gonna foul it off.
And vanishes into a sea of green.
I mean, looks like they just called a hit and run there. I mean, good pitch to swing at, just got under it a bit.
I mean, that seems to be the story we've been looking at all day.
Just a bit under. I mean, something that I've also noticed is that this Pingry team gets really aggressive leads.
That's incredibly true.
I mean, he's about 13 feet off. Wu fakes the run. Morrison throws back. And the tag by Pellegrino's late. Stevenson quickly down 0-2.
I sneezed. I had to turn the mic off.
Did you know, actually, every time he sneezes, it travels at about 100 miles per hour off, as Stevenson is going to strike out, and as they strike him out, throw him out, as Wu took off and Morrison threw an absolute strike of a one-hopper to second base. And
was that a strikeout double play?
It was a strike him out, throw him out, as Pingry leaves the base empty on no runs, 1 hit, no errors, and no men left on base.
Now that right there, somehow the Vikings defense only looks better and better as the innings go on, and we'll see if that offense can improve in the same trajectory as we look towards the bottom of the 4th. Stay tuned. Leadoff single. We'll send Chris Wilson to first base. As far as I know, we haven't hit a lot of doubles, if any. It's all been singles, walks, and hit by pitches that have advanced these runners. And steals.
You're so tough.
We look like Dyson Daniels the way we're stealing bases out here.
You tell they heard that one. They did. Yes.
They without a doubt heard that. Pickoff attempt, nothing on it. Close though. Braden Morrison, the star underclassman. We'll watch the breaking ball go by.
If you didn't ask, but I'm going to tell you anyway. Pingry, big blue. The Pingry, big blue. I know you don't have to use that.
Oh, 1 here. And I'll tell you what, this is very interesting. The Pingry Big Blue, they're called.
There he goes. Oh, hit him. Hit him or hit the bat.
Morrison is hit. So Wilson would have stolen second regardless. However, he automatically advanced because of the hit by pitch.
It's Mikey Powell.
You gotta love the country.
It's empty. It's been empty for like
We're out of icebreakers here. Now, of course, Union Catholic Livestream lives on icebreakers. That ball seems to hang for hours. And Mikey will watch it for strike one. Sun is out, sun shining. I can't see. I'm not sure if the outfielders can. Just kidding, I can see just fine.
1 for 1. RBI single last time out.
Stepped off, looking to pick off second. Wilson, too good though.
All right, get ready, Colt. Here we go. Third.
And it was fouled off. In any other situation, you see Morrison taking second, Wilson taking third. And it looked like Matthias Stevenson was either trying to fake out his own pitcher or he was trying to fake out the batter. Either way, 0-2. Still no outs. Men on first and second.
Heads up, they might run again. Not really trying to hold him. There you go. Take it.
Maybe trying to fake out Chris Wilson. Steps off. Unfortunately, nobody there to pick off Wilson. Or fortunately, depending on who you're rooting for here.
Why would you not? Keep playing the dark and cold all the time.
Low and outside. Catcher fumbles it,
Why is Miller not helping you?
but Riley Wong barely able to keep that alive. Keep Wilson at second, Morrison at first. Low for ball 2. Looking down at 2-2 here.
What are you going to post? What do you post? Oh, right out of... oh, shit. Oh, missed him.
He missed the tag. Morrison will advance to second, Wilson to third. Stevenson cannot believe this.
I think based on the chirps Union Catholic has given the umpire, that was not the correct call.
But you can't reverse the call at this point.
And all the Pingry players are jumping around, and home is being stolen, but that is not a legal play. I don't know what he is thinking. There is no catcher there. And the
Chris Wilson makes the rules. You understand me?
that is an absurd thing to say.
Either way, man on second and third now. Pingry clearly not happy about the call.
John won.
Yo, Bean gets laid.
I'm sending that to Lewis. I'm sending that to Lewis.
After a long, hard debate. Actually, never mind the debate. The debate is still going.
I'll send it to Sean.
We'll keep you updated on what the call is. Just kidding. They can't change the call. Morrison will stay on second. I mean, listen, either way, Pellegrino out at first. Prime scoring position, 1 out in the bottom of the 4th.
Exactly. Be a good boy. Be Young will not do anything. Young's giving shit to Young. Young.
And now batting. I don't even need to see the number. I can see the bright blue bat. That's Nick Anderson down there. Normally the ace for the Vikings, but he's playing second today. I'd be saving that arm for St. Augustine. Low for ball one. Squeeze bunt will send Wilson home, and will get Morrison home safe.
I have never in my life seen a 2-run squeeze bunt. That is incredible right there. What is not incredible is Braden Morrison a bit shaken up. We hope he's okay, but nonetheless, 6-0 Vikings.
I mean, either way, they are hyped up. Morrison's feeling good. Either way, 2 outs now, no men on base.
Yo, let me get some of that.
Anderson sacrificed himself to get 2 runs on the bunt.
2-run squeeze.
2-run squeeze. You'll love to see it. That's why you love to see it, because it never happens, ladies and gentlemen. And now batting will be Brian McCabe.
Oh yeah, John Koppel. Yo, John, let me get half of that.
The hang on that is gorgeous. Gets the 1-1. McCabe is so far 2 for 2. 1 run, 1 RBI.
A great catch in right field.
He's been making defensive plays all day, folks. And really, he's been making it work on both ends. Now looking down at 2-1. Low for ball 3. We'll see if Cardona's LeBron can make the 3-1 comeback.
I'm mature.
McCabe thought it was high. Just nailed the top of the strike zone. We got ourselves a full count here. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. A tiny bit high, a tiny bit outside. We'll get the ball 4, and McCabe waltzes to first. Now Luigi Sacca up to bat, and they're going to visit the mound. They are without a doubt making a change here. As Cardona, some of the nicest break I've seen, but some of the most inconsistent break I've seen on the pitches today. I don't know how long they're going to play that walk-up music for.
Yeah, his pitches out there, they're moving real well. Don't know if he knows where they're moving, though.
They're moving well. They're moving everywhere, though. Sometimes the unpredictable is what works best. However, that's what makes the knuckleball work, you know?
Yeah, it's kind of like when you're playing great defense on NBA 2K, but then your controller dies and the defender just goes wherever he wants to,
That's right. I mean, it's not even like the outfielders have been playing beautifully. I mean, Joaquin has had himself a game so far. I mean, I thought he was concussed over there by the home of the Vikings logo.
It's like when you're playing LB The Show, right? And you're about to throw a pitch and you have a player with 99 power, 99 stuff, but then your mom comes in the room and she's like, Andrew, you got to take out the dishes. You got to take out the trash.
Take out the dishes.
Take out the dishes, whatever. And you're mid-pitch. You're mid-pitch. And your mom's like, yeah, you got to walk the dishes. And you're mid-pitch. And you throw a horrible pitch with a great player. That's what it's been like today.
Now reporting a pitching change here for the Vikings. All right, not the Vikings, the Big Blue. It'll be Albert Hong now pitching for Pingry.
Is that actually their team name?
That is actually their team name. The Pingry Big Blue.
Big Blue. Go Big Blue.
Now, the cheerleaders have said go Big Blue for the Vikings. So that begs the question, is it Big Blue versus Big Blue today? Oh, that is a nasty sidearm. What's that?
Is the blue crew in the room with us? Gotta be better here if you're in your Catholic student section.
I'll tell you what, I saw a bunch of girls lax players over there.
Did see that indeed. But if you're Rye Bev, as an alumni of the baseball team, you gotta get the fans to show up. Come on, Rye Bev, be better.
You got to give a huge shout out to everyone who's tuning in on the live stream. They're all everywhere. I mean, the Wicks family from Ohio, they like to listen to it. Was it Ohio, Michigan? I don't even know, to be honest with you. But you see them from California. You see them babysitting. Like, shout out Gracie Taylor.
Yeah, watching how many kids and still watching the game. That's dedication.
Got to watch the kids and, of course, baseball.
Oh, here we go.
Nasty sidearm.
Okay, his third time on base today. 2 singles and a walk.
I mean nasty in a good way. That is a dangerous looking pitch. But it'll be outside for ball 1.
Watch out. He's going to go. He's going to run.
Swing and a miss for Saka.
McCabe's already got 2 stolen bases today.
McCabe's got 2 stolen bases so far. He's looking to make it 3. You can see chopping his feet. He's ready. He's ready. He's going. Low.
He's now 2 for 2 with an RBI, a run scored, and 3 stolen bases.
Now listen, Mr. Lambert, you seem to know very well how McCabe's been doing today. Tell the fans at home how he's doing.
Yeah, Brian's having a great game. He's been on base 3 times in 3 plate appearances, couple singles. Just drew a walk and stole his 3rd base. So, as we've said all season long, Union Catholic, the small ball. And there goes the McCabe taking off for 3rd on a wild pitch. Ball sails into right field. McCabe gets up and will come home and score the 7th run of the game here for the Vikings. And that's what you do. You keep the runners in motion and make the defense make plays. And when they don't, good things happen.
He just stole my play-by-play. But either way, McCabe goes from first straight to home. Did I just get Wally pipped?
No. I give it back to you.
He gave the mic back. Lucky me. Either way, 3-1 here, and all the momentum in the world. 4 runs scored last inning, 3 scored this inning in the 2-out run for the Vikes. Looks to continue.
Yep.
That looked to come off the hand weird, and Saka Luigi will go to first base.
Got a gap.
You can always recognize it's Lenny when you hear that Spanish. Spanish music is such a vibe, I gotta say. I wish I knew Spanish better.
Still time.
There is still time. There's always time to learn. I take French. But you know what? I love my French teacher. Shout out Madame. I'm sure she is listening.
Hey, French teachers like baseball too.
French teachers love baseball.
Babysitters on the beach, wherever they are.
Babysitters, whether you're on the beach, you do what you want. You're going to be listening to Union Catholic live stream.
Baseball is a game for everybody.
1-0 pitch incoming. Never mind. Pickoff. Nothing.
I think I said the ball sailed into the right field when it was left.
It was left field.
Oh, well.
Thrown straight past third base. That's all that matters. And McCabe, a smart player, knowing exactly when to make those runs. He stole 3 bases within 2 pitches. You know how crazy that is? That's a stat you see in MLB The Show. When you don't have to walk the dishes. The Vikings 16-8 going into this game. I mean, they've had an absolutely immaculate season. I remember my freshman year when they were just below 500. And they've been crawling their way up. Lovely rise on that. We got ourselves a 1-1 here.
Wait, Harrison, you using that Mevo? The one over there? Are you doing the right angle?
Always Andrew Miller.
We got to give a huge shout out to Mr. Williams, who did provide us these Mevos. They are working beautifully today.
Not being used too beautifully, though, Harrison. We got to get better on this angle. Come on, Harrison. You got to use the angle for the camera I just set up.
Jeez, man. He's our camera guy. This is who we got.
I mean, I can't even believe you've been watching the game. You haven't even watched live stream. You're critiquing my camera here.
Stock of Steel second, by the way, on an awkward. Well,
Harrison, I want to see something better this inning. I want something incredible. I want something great.
grounds, and that's going to be Lenny out. That'll end another brutal bottom of the fourth now for the Big Blue. Now the Vikings lead 7-0 on 6 hits. We approach the top of the fifth. Coming up.
Stay tuned.
Now the winner of this game will be playing St. Augustine.
2 o'clock.
2 o'clock tomorrow. We unfortunately are not able to live stream that.
It'd be a rematch. If we win, it'd be a rematch.
If we win, which, if momentum tells us anything, we will.
Lost 4-1 last year in the quarterfinals to St. Augustine. Rematch.
Now, Mr. Lambert, you seem to be very familiar with this. Tell us what happened for the playoff run for the Vikes last year.
Well, I mean, the Vikes started out the playoff run last year with a great win here against Camden Catholic on a walk-off squeeze and advanced to the quarterfinals last year against St. Augustine. St. Augustine, Vikes played great that game. Got up early 1-0. St. Augustine went up winning that game 4-1. And as you mentioned, Ev, if the Vikes can hold this lead and win this game, they will have a rematch with St. Augustine tomorrow in the quarterfinal round, where I got to give the Vikings a great shot there. The way UC has played this year, only lost back-to-back games, only twice this year. And, I mean, 3 losses this year to the #1 team in the state. If the Vikings play their brand of ball, getting base runners, moving base runners along, getting clean fielding as they have, they can pretty much play with anybody in the non-public A South region. So, yeah, I mean, St. Augustine's a tough team, but so are the Vikings.
Completely agree. And now we're at the top of the fifth. The freshman in his 5th inning pitched here. Sends one way inside for ball 2.
Where'd the sun come from? I like it. It's ripped down the line. Catch it. Good play. Great play.
Slammed out
That was a great play.
to right field.
Great play to cut that off.
McCabe making the smart move there, swinging it to second base. Valoria standing there, making sure that Delorier cannot advance.
Cut that ball off.
That right there is beautiful. Beautiful defense. Even on the hard hit, McCabe making the right play.
What you saw there is McCabe getting a great jump on that ball. Cutting the ball off before it can get down the line to hold a runner to first. Ball kind of ate up Valoria there at shortstop. Tough hop. And now Pingry with the first 2 batters here in the top of the 5th, reaching base. So their best scoring opportunity of the game right here. It's a big spot for Tortorella to kind of try to get out of this jam.
I do want to say this is the first time that 2 people have been on base at the same time for Pingry. Valoria getting a glove change here. I mean, that was a nasty collision with the ball there. I don't blame him. And now Coletti's going to talk to Torts on the mound.
I'm actually upset. What?
Let me give it a shot. Let's see how it is now.
We're talking about Harrison's performance on the cameras. Personally, I believe he's doing a great job.
Agreed.
Thank you, Ben. And now left fielder Matthew Hawk up to bat. Delorier on second, Zaslow on first. He's the first baseman, so it would make a lot of sense, wouldn't it? Either way, first pitch a strike. This is a very crucial at bat. Swing and a miss for strike 2.
How do I switch views?
Do not let this freshman heat up.
Gotcha. So wait, this is the preview of the swaps? Okay.
I can't believe Harrison's getting commentary.
I know. So not in our favor here.
Just a little bit low for ball 1.
Shout out to the cardboard box.
What do I do this.
Without that cardboard box,
1-2 now.
we would have
I'll tell you what, during the live stream award ceremony, we might have to give the MVP to the box that is holding this laptop. Slammed out. Go to 2. Either way, man out at second. They got 1 out of it. Now there will be a man on each corner. 1 out in the top of the 5th. And Harrison Manousos, ladies and gentlemen.
I'm taking over Andrew Miller while he takes over the cams, trying to prove a point over there. But you know what, let me say something. It's a beautiful day for live streams, a beautiful day for baseball. I mean, it's looking like a really good day for the Vikings out here. Big lead, 7-0 it looks like. We got a lot of young guys stepping up as usual. Is that an out?
It is not. He is just barely safe.
Whoa.
Matthew Hawk barely sliding in. Morrison made a great throw. Valoria just a little bit slow on the catch.
You don't want to see this. You want to see this one.
Throw could have let him a bit more. Blame is on nobody. It's a good play overall. Either way, that was a strike. So we're looking at 0-1 here. That was not. 1-1 now.
Yo, John, do we have Conlon in the pen right now?
Yeah, who's warming up? What number is it?
I want to say that warming up right now in the bullpen
Look at that.
is number 20, Ryan Conlon.
Evan, I might have a future in the cameras.
Tell you what, this guy's got a lovely voice, but maybe his calling is behind the scenes.
Type 2 in the chat if you love the cameras.
All right, well, either way, there are 2 strikes right now. As Shane Varnekis will not swing on the inside pitch. Smart. 2-2 here. Runners on second and third. This is a very crucial out to get. Swings it up.
Not playable.
Just out. Warming up in the bullpen is my good friend Ryan Conlon. Almost seemed like a check swing. Fouls it back. You learn baseball terms as you go, you know? Tell you what, maybe before this year, never watched a full baseball game in my life. And now, the ball knowledge is there.
Now you know what a balk is.
Now
No one knows.
no one knows what a balk is.
Now you saw 2 runs score and squeeze. Oh, that's going to be hard.
Smacked out. I suppose McCabe throws it home.
RBI single into the corners. I mean, Pingry finally breaks through there. Good piece of hitting going the other way with 2 strikes. Get on the board, so now the Vikings lead 7-1. Pingry's still threatening here, first and third, 1 out. Tortorella, in a little bit of trouble here, but he's been throwing strikes, and defense has been playing well behind him, and he'll look to try to get a ground ball here and try to turn 2 and get out of this inning.
The defense has been playing well behind him, and if you need a testament to that, just look at the ratio from hits to runs. I mean, Pingry has 1 run on 5 hits. The Vikings have 7 on 6 hits. 1 out, runners on the corners again. I like that term, the corners. It's true.
Yeah, look for him to take off at first base here. With a runner on third, good chance that Morrison might not throw through, but you got to, if you're Pingry here, you got to try to avoid that forced play at second, get another runner in scoring position here if you can.
It's very true. A tad outside for ball 1. Swing and a miss. Took a big hack at that. I could feel the wind from here. One, 1 out. You want to make a wish, Mr. Lambert?
I don't know if I want to make a wish right now, but I can tell you that Varnecka over at first base is not getting much of a lead there, so as far as him being a threat to steal, I don't see that right now. He's got a swing and a miss, and it's 1-2 now.
Varnecka is not looking. Wait, what did I just say?
No, he's not getting.
He's not looking to steal right now. There's a small lead up. Made just enough contact.
Stays alive.
Keep it alive. Remains 1-2.
Evie brought up a good point. When you look at the line score, and you see that the Vikings have 6 hits and Pingry 5. I mean, the difference really is the command Tortorella's had in not walking. Now, not putting guys on base via the walk, whereas the Vikings have shown a good eye at the plate. Oh, there's a line drive to Anderson, second base. Runners stay. 2 down. Runners at the corners. But just to finish up that thought real quick, it's the Vikings just been able to get a lot more base runners, and as a result have moved those runners along with I think it's 8 stolen bases so far, and really that's the difference right now.
Absolutely is the difference. Miller.
Sorry, Nick Anderson, I low-key sold your clip.
Really, man? I don't think he does have a future in the camera work.
Oh, I was half a second too late.
Either way,
I'm retiring from cameras.
that was Joaquin Stevenson out now. And batting should be catcher number 9, Riley Wong. Tiny bit high, I want to say. One-0 here. Rack 1. 1-1 here, 2 outs. Tortorella got himself into a pickle here, but he seems to be taking command of the mound yet again. Smacks one out. McCabe makes the catch in the blazing sunlight. Will end the top of the 5th. Escaping with only 1 run. Runners on the corners for God knows how long. And the Vikings survive a difficult one there. You'll love to see it. Either way, I'm very excited to see how the Vikings, they've scored 7 runs in the last 2 innings they've played. We'll see how they can follow up this momentum in the bottom of the 5th. Stay tuned.
Here we go.
Back to the top of the lineup for the bottom of the 5th here. Josiah Sharp.
Oh, you got hit again. Second time. Oh, what we saying? Hit the bat.
He said right here, right here, right here, right here.
Wait.
They're going to call it a strike.
Hit the bat. He's saying hit the bat.
Either that or he leaned into it just too much. So we find ourselves in an interesting situation here. We are either 6 outs away from moving on in the state tournament, or if we can get 4 runs in this bottom of the 5th, it's a mercy. Sidearm bounces for ball 1.
That's what happened on the first pitch. Tried to lean into one and caught the bat.
Sia not afraid of a bit of contact.
Breaking ball.
It seems this entire bullpen loves that breaker. To be fair, the Vikings are so good at hitting fastballs that I don't blame them. Bounces again. Did Sia get hit by the bounce? Does that count? That doesn't count. I wish it counted. I think he just took that off the head, though. 2-2 here.
But it's impossible to make it back. It's impossible. And, well, another, like, well, actual major league is not.
The dropped third strike call. So Sia won't even make the attempt. Honestly, I don't blame him.
No, he made the attempt. He got thrown out.
Well, it was a very light jog. That wasn't a true Sia attempt. So, Sia's out. Now batting, number 2, shortstop, Greg Valoria.
I gotta get all those. I 'cause 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 I 'c
A tad outside for ball 1. A tad outside for ball 2. A tad inside for ball 3. Valoria might get to first without having to take a swing at all.
You know he's taking this pitch all the way.
Yes, it is 3-0. And I sound like a broken record, but a bit outside for ball 4. And Valoria, a 4-pitch walk. Waltzing up to bat now, Chris Wilson.
Yeah, as we were talking about before, Ev, one of the big differences in the game is the base runners. Union Catholic now with the 7th walk that they've worked. And yeah, so now with 1 out, Chris Wilson coming up, looking for more runs here.
That's working heavily in the Vikings' favor, is these walks, because they aren't the hardest hitting team I've ever seen.
Because they turn the walks into steals.
Way, way, way outside. And Valoria will jog his way to second. What is it, this is the 9th stolen base of the game?
Yes.
Jeepers.
Yeah, that's why the walks are so big, because most of them turn into doubles.
That's true. I mean, you saw with Brian McCabe, it turned straight into a run. You never know what these Vikings are capable of.
There's another one. He's got that stolen. No question, 10.
No one's stopping him. 2 pitches, 2 balls, 2 stolen bases for Greg Valoria.
Yep, so now you're in a situation where you can score a run without a hit.
On a very awkward pitch, it's possible for Greg to score here.
And the infield in right now, trying to cut down this run. You know, Pingry down 7-1. They don't want to. And there's a wild pitch, and there comes another run just walking in. And that is Union Catholic baseball in a nutshell right there. Walk, stole second, stole third, and Valoria comes in on a wild pitch. I mean, that sums it up right there. Pretty much this whole season for the Vikings. Base runners moving, advancing, scoring without any hits. They just find ways to make things happen and beat you in so many different ways.
And just like that, the Vikings now lead 8-1.
Gavin's on it today. He's locked in.
Oh, when is he not?
No, it's true.
Laser.
Bottom corner of the strike zone for strike 1. Now looking at a 3-1 count.
Sky.
Wilson will take it high and back.
Net ball.
You ever played netball, Mr. Lambert?
Netball? Yeah. Oh, yes. Yeah. Spike ball, netball.
Oh, yeah. Love it.
You name it. Anything with a ball, I pretty much have probably shot it, kicked it.
Wilson now with a full count.
That's going to be a tough play. There's no way he gets him. Yep.
Wilson, again, a state champion in track.
Yeah, a ball in a hole like that with Wilson's speed, no way to throw him out. Infield single, and now Vikings looking at more damage. You know, Wilson's probably going to take off. And now we're looking at a situation where Vikings are 3 runs away from possibly getting the mercy victory.
Walking up is Braden Morrison, the first of the 2-headed hitting monster that is him and Mikey Pell. But
here we go, a healthy lead. He's gone.
But Pellegrino is currently...
Oh, Wilson had that back.
Pellegrino is currently warming up the bullpen. Oh, 1 here for Morrison.
Yeah, Wilson had that bag stolen easily. Look for him to jump, take off again. Up. He was leaning a little bit.
Luckily fast on his feet.
Healthy lead by Wilson.
Oh, taking his time to throw this second pitch. The longest 0-1 I think I've ever seen.
Well, he knows Wilson's going to go. Trying to keep him close.
Pickoff number 3. I feel like if you pick off enough times, it's just like...
Well, he's just hoping to catch Wilson leaning a little bit.
Right. But I mean, I feel like at that point, it's like a delay of game. Or like you repeat the position so many times. In chess, there's a rule where if you repeat the same position 3 times and no one's advancing...
No throw.
When you don't pick him off, Chris Wilson steals second.
Yep. 12 stolen base of the game for the Vikings. Wilson stole it off the pitcher. He's pretty much almost the second base before the ball even crossed home plate. I mean, he just had his delivery down perfect there.
It's the long strides that I think gets him.
Yep. Now runner in scoring position for Pellegrino, looking to add to this 8-1 Viking lead here in the bottom of the 5th.
Morrison looking down a 1-1.
Yep. And here we go.
And that is incredibly awkward.
Wild pitch, and Wilson trying to come all the way from second to score, and he does. Head first.
He is safe!
Gets under the tag. Yep. That's just
Chris Wilson, a monster of a man.
Just a great heads-up play by Wilson. Saw the ball, got away. Catcher didn't really hustle back to pick up the ball, and Wilson just kept on going. He turned on the afterburners, and just like that, it's 9-1 Vikings.
That's pure aggression, pure adrenaline. Gets Wilson home, and now they're going to visit the mound. I mean, after an errant pitch like that, Wilson steals 2 bases. There aren't a lot of people confident enough to do that, much less complete it. And just like that, Albert Hong will step off the mound.
And you're just seeing that this game is a microcosm, like I said before, of the Vikings season, and also a reason why they can play with anyone in this non-public A-South tournament, because base runners lead to runs, and the Vikings play sound defense, solid pitching. So, we're just really just 6 outs away, or 2 runs away from the Vikings advancing to the quarterfinal round against St. Augustine tomorrow, where I expect the Vikings to give St. Augustine a great game, and I give them a shot to win that game.
Speaking of solid pitching, now warming up, the DH in the lineup, Aaron Wu.
Should be mentioned here that Nick Anderson will be on the hill tomorrow for the Vikings.
I mean, that's the guy you want. That's the guy you need in a game like that.
He's been the big game pitcher for the Vikings all year. He pitched in the county final against Governor Livingston. Even though the Vikings came out on the short end 5-0 in that game, Anderson pitched great. I mean, there's 5 runs he gave given up in the first inning and settled down and pitched great after that. Anderson throws strikes, and he gives the Vikings a chance to win every game that he pitches.
Well, we'll see what happens.
2 runs away from possibly ending this game right here in the bottom of the 5th with the Vikings up 9-0.
That's right. I believe
9-1.
That's right. 9-1. Braden Morrison still at the plate. 2-1 count. 1 out here in the bottom of the 5th. We'll see what happens in just a moment. Stay tuned. We're back. Of course, Wu's first pitch, a ball. Bounces.
Another base runner.
And Morrison doesn't have to swing. He's going to take his sweet time getting to first.
Well, Evan and Miller just quit the deal there.
You know what?
Pingry.
should throw out the pitcher's name, did you?
Yes, this is Aaron Wu. A bit high, a bit inside. That is not Mikey Pellegrino.
No, it's EJ.
That is EJ Onishak. Pickoff attempt on Morrison is no good.
Yeah, make no mistake about it right here. Coach Galletti will do everything he can to try to win this game and get the 2 runs right now to to give the Vikings a 10-run mercy victory. Morrison on the move there.
Fouled off. And Morrison was already at second by the time the ball hit the fence.
Oh, yeah, he had that stolen. Yeah, Coletti's going to keep his foot on the gas here and try to just end this right now. Look for Morrison to go on this pitch right here.
Instead of pickoff attempt, nothing. 1-1 pitch here, 1 out, bottom of the 5th.
1-1 pitch, there goes Morrison.
He's not getting caught by that any day of the week.
As I said before, Coach Galletti going to keep his foot on the gas here to try to end this game right now. 2 more runs will do it.
Yes, it will. That was just a bit outside, so it's ball 2.
And let's see what the total is now on stolen bases for the Vikings. Let's see, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. That is 13.
Well, if you need a 13th reason why, here's Braden Morrison at second base.
13 stolen bases, 8 walks, 6 hits.
Pickoff on second, errant, and Morrison will run his way to third. I was mentioning how it's a bit of a risky throw.
Make the defense make plays. And today, Pingry has not really been able to do that. As I said before, 8 bases on balls, 6 hits, a couple hit batters, and when the Vikings have runners on base, they usually come around to score.
Just like that, Vikings in prime scoring position here. Morrison on third. I think earlier in the game that would have been called a ball, a little bit outside. They're gonna give him the strike. 2-2.
Almost all of them probably do it, except for maybe 2. I heard Coach doesn't do it.
Great opportunity for EJ to deliver an RBI here. Morrison at third. We've seen a few runs already score on wild pitches and pass balls. So Wu's got to be careful here.
Full count.
EJ rocks one.
Slammed into the home of the Vikings. Unfortunate. Still a full count here. 3-2-1.
Almost landed in the home of somebody's home.
Yeah.
Put that in a pool back there.
If he hit it high enough, that probably would have landed in my home in Colonia.
I can really whip it out right now.
There it is. Potential winning run now at first base. 1 down. Runners at the corners for the Vikings. Nick Anderson coming up to the dish.
I mean, it's been a hitting masterclass here for the Vikings when they need to hit.
It's just a masterclass in getting on base and manufacturing runs, and you're going to see EJ take off for second here. Be shocked we didn't have to, and a run walks in on a wild pitch.
He was on our team.
EJ around second, and now Vikings with a 10-1 lead and the winning run at second base as the Vikings look to try to close this out with the 10-run mercy rule.
The winning run on second base, EJ Onishak. So Anderson, with a strong enough hit, can drive him home. Theoretically, can give him a sac fly, sending him to third.
Anderson looking for a walk-off RBI here.
That's true.
You got the red-hot McCabe on deck. It was 2 for 2. So, great opportunity here to close it out. And get ready for a quarterfinal rematch with St. Augustine tomorrow, 2 o'clock on the road.
Who they got tomorrow?
St. Augustine.
1-1 here. Low and outside.
Yeah, we're having some trouble with the command here. Now, if you're Anderson, you're looking for a fastball right here. I mean, 2-1 pitch.
In all fairness, no one could take the command for the Big Blue today.
No, I mean, the Vikings came in here as a heavy favorite, and they're doing exactly what was expected, dominating a game and advancing to the quarterfinals.
Of course, the Vikings at home have been dominant. Their only loss being in extra innings to Summit.
Right.
They are 8 or 9-1 now at home. Look to make that 9 or 10-1.
Yeah, we've also seen the Vikings bouncing back well from losses this year. They've only lost 2 games in a row once this year, and they're coming off the loss to GL in the county final. You knew they were going to come out today and take care of business. Exactly what they did.
There's not a lot you can do against GL except take vengeance on your next team. Low and outside.
Yeah, try to get him to go and 2-2 pitch. Try to get Anderson to go after one low and away. He didn't bite on it, and now Wu's going to have to come in with a fastball here, you think? And
another full count here.
yeah, you got to be sitting dead red and try to rip this pitch.
Varnek is listed as the right fielder, but he's playing second base.
Yeah.
Outside for ball 4.
Yep. And that'll bring up the red-hot McCabe. Has reached base all 3 times. 2 for 2, 2 singles, 2 runs, 3 stolen bases, an RBI. Walked last time up, stole second.
Stole third. Stole home.
And came around on an errant throw to third when he attempted to steal on a stolen base.
The man single-handedly picked all of Pingry's pockets.
Yeah, he did. And now he's got a chance to walk it off for the Vikings here.
Outside for ball 1. I'll tell you what, home plate was moved maybe 2 feet to the right. We are looking at a no-hitter for Pingry today. Unfortunately, it's not.
There goes Anyashak. Oh, there it is.
Hammered.
Fly ball, deep center. He's going to have to get back to tag up. They could have him doubled off at second base, and yes, that's what happened.
It's unfortunate. McCabe with strong contact on it, but the double play.
Yep. Anyashak on the move, on the pitch, and couldn't get back to second in time. McCabe couldn't hit it any harder, but unfortunately right to the center fielder. And that retires the side. The Vikings get 3 runs to take a 10-1 lead into the top of the 6th tier in the first round of the NJSIA South Jersey Non-Public A Tournament.
Now, for better or for worse, Pingry will not be mercied today. But that just means you get to see more of the Vikings' beautiful defense as we approach the top of the 6th. Stay tuned. Tortorella warming up for his 6th inning pitch today. Now, Colten Rufolo of Union Catholic Livestream. You're a baseball player yourself. What's been your favorite part of watching these Vikings today?
Favorite thing about it, I love a lot of stolen bases we saw, a lot of hard hit balls as well. I mean, this team is playing really well. I think they're definitely going to close it out. I'm surprised, and I'm honestly glad to see Torts is still out there pumping the zone. I mean, he's going to start off the 6th inning hot, I think. If they want to throw him for a 7th, they can. I don't even know if it'll go to 7, but I'm confident with this team.
Harrison?
To further your point, Colton, if there's a group of freshmen that can step up, it's this year's freshmen. We got Tort, we got Luigi, we got some big guys up here feeling good, feeling great, doing their thing, living up, and getting the job done. We'd love to see it. Back to you, Florek.
Now, of course, we do have one more JV dog here with us, Johnny Kopp. You been seeing anything special out of these Vikes today?
Just a lot of stolen bases, great pitching by Chris Tortorella.
You'll love to see it from the kid. Way inside, ball one to start the top of the sixth. Gets the strike one there. 1-1 here.
Okay.
Ben Palacio does not want to work the cameras today. Smacked it out. Over Saya's head. Hits the track.
Camera on third. Camera to third base. Third base.
And that will be a strong triple for Matthew Carreri. But listen, I've seen Carreri. I've seen crazier comebacks happen. Batting now, Aaron Wu. Right down the middle for strike one. A Pingry style pitch for ball one.
Your mom's here? Perfect, I need a ride. All right, hop on the
Ben still does not want to hop on these cams. 1-1. Man on third. Almost swung on it. Just a bit low for the 2-1. Make some beautiful contact. McCabe could not get to it. Got an absolute hammer by Chris Wilson. Straight to second base. Spinning an absolute dart, hitting a celly. You love to see it. Smile for the camera, Chris. That's going on Sports Center. Jersey Sports Zone wants Chris Wilson. Does Chris Wilson want Jersey Sports Zone? They already added Saya. That's a highlight right there. Either way, runner will score. Matt Carreri gets in for the first run of the top of the sixth here. However, we got ourselves an out, and a highlight out it is. Loses the hat.
Don't cover him.
What are you doing? I can see.
Getting a view on Colten Rufolo.
And you.
And me. Pitch is fouled off. As now I believe, is that Michael Cardona batting? I don't believe my eyes. Grounded. Simple lob to first. Gets a second out. Now playing first for the Vikings is EJ Onishak. Because Mikey Pell has been warming up to pitch, just in case Torts needs a break.
Now, let me tell you something, Florek. If I was trying to find funding for the baseball program, I wouldn't be using these programs, asking for donations. I'd be going in the back of that forest, picking up baseballs and reselling them. I mean, there must be a ton back there. Probably enough to get a whole new field, to be honest with you.
They do it about once a week, and good God, do they find a gold mine. Hammered out to left field. Saya, cool, calm, collected to end the top of the sixth. One run allowed, however, you can't be mad because these outfielders are putting on a show for us today.
Do they actually go back there?
And the Viking, yes, they do actually go back there about every weekend, Ryan Parm tells me. Go on what the lacrosse team calls a ball hunt. And man, they find an absolute feast worth of baseballs back there. I mean, I'm sure. You might be able to fund the team's uniforms next year just on the baseballs hit back there this game. Either way, Vikings looking to keep this dominant offensive streak going in the bottom of the sixth. Stay tuned. A huge shout out has to be given to Nick Anderson on that play for letting the ball go because the transfer would take a little bit too long, and that out may not have happened. That is a very high IQ play there by Nicholas Anderson. Of course, he is usually he's usually the pitcher. Well, I mean, he's the big guy in the rotation of Union Catholic pitchers. He's the head honcho. He's the godfather. I could come up with more names, but I won't right now. He's Big Brother. He is. He's got his eyes on everybody. That's what makes him such a good pitcher. That's what gives him such high IQ. To make that play, I mean, just beautiful, gorgeous defense all around by the Vikings.
Listen, I think it's easy to say. There's a reason this team's in states. There's a reason this team's up eight runs. I mean, these aren't some guys down the street, even though they are down the street from me. These aren't just anybody down the street.
These are the reason. This is the reason Chris Wilson, Nick Anderson, Brian McCabe, Josiah Sharp, these are the reasons we've got a home game in states. Tell you what, this team, this Vikings baseball team hasn't been relevant in the state of New Jersey since 1984, Colten Rufolo, and now they're back. They are back.
You know what they say, no time like the present, and we're getting the job done. We brought it home, and hopefully we can bring the trophy home too while we're at it.
There's no gift like right now. That's why they call it the present. Well, either way, bottom of the sixth has begun. Aaron Wu still pitching here. Great hang. Harrison, no one wants to get on the cams now. Ben Palacio had to leave. I can't blame it on him anymore. 0-1 here. Swing and a miss. 0-2. Fouled back there.
No, if you think about it, how many people are each grade doing like really big stuff? Like it's posted everywhere and stuff like that.
What?
I feel like it's
Well, outside for strike three.
Corner.
That's some beautiful hang right there. The break on that, stunning.
Lenny P up.
Now batting for the Vikings, Lenny Peguero. Immediately smacks one to the shortstop, Joaquin Stevenson. Making the smart, safe, easy play. There's no other play to make there, really. 2 early outs, back to the top of the lineup, Josiah Sharp. For his 6th appearance at the plate? 5th?
It's got to be his 5th. Yeah, 5th.
Outside for ball 1. This is his 5th appearance.
Yep, he's walked and been hit by a pitch. You know, one of the best leadoff hitters around. Always finds a way to get on base, make things happen. Takes pitches.
Over the kid's head.
Yeah.
For ball 2.
Takes a lot of pitches to earn, to work walks. Also takes pitches for the team. A lot of hit batters.
1 is high, 1 is low. 3-0 count.
Yep. It's about as good as a double. Ball 4, and you know that Sharp's going to take off. So once again.
Well, I mean, I like the curve on his pitch, but it's landing everywhere except the strike zone.
No, he's got a good break on it. Just has the command you need. And now once again, the Vikings find themselves with
Man on first, 2 outs here.
potential winning run at the plate.
At the plate right now.
I mean, but, Sharp's going to take off here probably.
He could have, but catcher Riley Wong did a great job collapsing on the ball there, making sure Cy can't advance.
No, we should mention what a great job the catcher's done for Pingry. I mean, there's been a lot of wild pitches in the dirt, and he saved a lot of potential wild pitches. Very busy back there, very active.
Without a doubt.
I mean, the Vikings are running on almost every single possibility, every chance they get.
They sense the blood in the water. They sense the momentum, and they're carrying it.
You hit it on the head, blood in the water, and that's when you strike. Let's see if Sharp takes off here, and there he goes, and that'll be another stolen base.
Swing and a miss. Ball is lobbed.
Yeah.
Sai can run to third here. He will. Oh, it's dropped!
Here we go again.
And Saya on one pitch goes from first to home.
Yep, another run score without a hit. Sharp walk, stolen base, and 2 errors.
Pingry coach now talking to the umps.
Exactly. You got to just say it like this. We're not exactly sure what happened.
We don't know what just happened, but Sharp was called out.
The side retired. That was the third out.
And that's the third out.
Score remains 10-2.
Score still 10-2. Tort's looking to pitch the complete game here.
We need a fan cam over here.
We approach the top of the 7th. I'm not sure why Saya was called out, actually. Maybe he just missed one of the bases. Couldn't tell you. This would be a great time for instant replay, but we don't have a guy here who knows how to do it. Just kidding. We have the instant replay guy, Harrison Manousos, standing about 5 feet away from me. He didn't even look over at me. We're trying to figure out why Saya was called out there. And I said this would be a great time for instant replay, but unfortunately, we don't have a guy here who knows how to do it.
You know what? It's one of the building blocks we're gonna work on, and we've mastered it during basketball season. And next year it's gonna be great during baseball season, and we're gonna love it. We're implementing, we're adapting, we're evolving. We got the Mevos working, which is a huge step forward.
Oh yeah, baby.
Next
Mevos.
Next step. I mean, we'll see it first thing volleyball season next year. It's gonna be replay. It's gonna be big replay season, big year for replays. Hopefully automated. Hopefully, hopefully perfected by that point. But we just got the Mevos working, and they're looking great. Shout out to John Koppel, who Koppel these last few innings has been running the directing. He's been directing the cameras. We got Colten Rufolo on the cams. We got Gavin. He's the MVP. I mean, there's no other way to put it. He's been the MVP this entire game, running the scoreboard. I mean, there's been no complaints as far as I'm aware in that regard. Back to you, Evan.
2 balls fouled away in a row.
3 outs away.
3 outs away from advancing to the quarterfinals for the second straight year. Rematch versus St. Augustine.
2 o'clock tomorrow.
2 p.m. tomorrow. Now listen, if Pingry scores 8 runs here in the top of the 7th,
I will walk barefoot down to St. Augustine if that happens.
I will personally. I will write an essay on why we lost this game today. Because really, there's no reason for it. Either way, gets the strikeout.
Tortorella, one of the biggest stars of the game here.
Tortorella, an absolute stud this game.
Yep. I'm going to rip the shirt off. Hey, you guys want to take some coffee? Why is your mom?
Lambert warming up for some Fabios. Nobody on base here, just a bit outside. Ball 1.
Let them do that. I think there's no pack, but
Tortorella taking some late command here. Strike one. Now 2 outs away from pitching the complete game in the first round of states versus the 11 seed Pingry.
I already didn't believe that. I immediately didn't believe that. No? Nothing.
A tiny bit outside for ball 2.
Like, maybe if Evan said that, I'd maybe believe it. So actually, I don't believe that. Because maybe like...
The 2-1. Swing and a miss. Chris Tortorella, class of 28, is looking very hot to start the state tournament.
I thought it did absolutely nothing. Because you guys are like playing with this, so I'm like, oh, maybe it's like broken off or something. I don't know.
Wow. Gets the call on that. Now 1 out away from advancing to play St. Augustine tomorrow at 2 p.m.
Blue wants to go.
At St. Augustine. You might have to pay for that privilege to watch it. We don't charge for this. Blah. Or you could just go to St. Augustine.
Yeah, that's really far though. Isn't it like by the shore, I thought? Isn't it far?
I believe it is pretty far.
I think you're actually right. I think it actually is like 2 hours.
You want to make the travel, you go ahead and do that. Way low, way outside. For ball 1.
One more out, guys. One more out. We'll go to St. Augustine tomorrow.
I've mentioned it about 4 times this inning.
Make it 5.
You're not even doing it right.
Good God.
Boom, Tort.
Fouled off.
We'll stay tuned for a little post game. We'll get somebody up.
Oh, we will stay tuned for a post game. What a stunning, really a masterclass by the Vikings there.
Evan, I want your best piece of commentary. This is on UC Sports Media.
Without a doubt, this is going on UC Sports Media.
Shout out Nick Dahl.
Shout out to Nicholas Christopher Dahl.
Who's not here.
21. NC Dahl 21. You want to know what the C stands for? It's Christopher. It's his middle name. Low and outside for ball 2.
We will be. Vikings will be 17. Vikings will be 17-8 on the year after this win.
That's right. And Pingry will fall to 7-18 as their season ends. Fouled off. 2-2-2 here. Tortorella with the opportunity.
Get him with the K, like Luigi against Cranford.
Tortorella with the opportunity of the century here to send the Vikings to the second round as the class of 28. Really proving why do they deserve to be on the varsity level as freshmen. That was not a strike.
It is, yeah.
So we're at a full count here.
Just make it close. A close fastball will get him.
3-2-2 here. No one on base yet in this 7th inning. Can Tortorella close it strong? No, he will walk.
I thought that was the last batter.
That is not, in fact, the last batter. We got at least one more.
Oh, I kind of feel like that's like pretty sensitive.
Shane Varnekis now on first base. And they're going to visit the mound. You can't take him out at this point. Let him pitch the complete game. If you need Pell to go in and pitch for one batter, I don't mind that. I don't mind that result whatsoever. However, they are going to keep Torts in. You'll love to see it. The kid, not from Akron, will finish strong today.
I think from West.
You know what I actually saw earlier today, Evan Florek? It's called LeBron Automobiles or something. Or LeBron's Automobiles.
Yes, I've seen that before. I've taken pictures of it. But right now, we're talking about the kid from Westfield, allegedly, Chris Tortorella. Inside for ball 1.
All right, sports fan.
I kind of hope a righty gets out because it'll be a better shot.
Stretching right now. Oh boy.
No, I just made the call. The order in.
Oh yeah.
I told him Bader's hungry. He's gonna walk the. He's gonna walk the second. They're gonna let him go. Just
That's 0.
He actually tried shooting him. I think he just lost it.
That really goes down as
Will be a called strike. However, Morrison dropped it on the steal attempt to second base.
defensive indifference.
The transfer. Thank you.
We got a ride on your way or here?
I knew that term actually. I can't believe I forgot it.
Perfect. This game will be over in 30 seconds. Oh,
In the sky.
that'll do it. Luigi.
And Luigi Sacca, the freshman, with a textbook ending to this. The class of 28 really showing up today, proving why Union Catholic deserves to be in this state tournament. They can make a run. You'll see them tomorrow at 2 p.m. at St. Augustine. The rematch from last year. We lost 4-1. I don't think this is going to be the same result because this is the best Vikings team I have seen in my 3-year career. I mean, it's not a big sample size, but I am very proud to say that I have been here to commentate through it all, and this is probably going to be one of my last games as a broadcaster this year. But you know what? That's what the state tournament is all about. There's highs and lows to it. A crushing loss for Pingry. The Vikings win 10-2. We will have some post-game. We are not done. So I must recommend that you stay tuned. Ladies and gentlemen, for the first time this season, I'm joined by Coach Coletti. Big win today. How you doing?
Good. You know, it's a good win. It's a good home win. Unfortunately, it's our last one here. You know, we would like to play at home as much as possible, but at the same time, it's good to get a win. Haven't played in 8 days. Today was our 9th day. So, you know, it was good to come back out onto the field to kind of get the baseball going again. Being away from it from 8 days was felt like I was back in basketball season coaching basketball. But it was good. It was good.
I'll tell you what, I'm glad you mentioned how you like playing at home because you have had an absolutely dominant home stretch this season. Do you think there's any one factor that makes that possible?
I think we have the advantage, obviously, on our field. Our outfielders are phenomenal when it comes down to catching balls in the outfield, especially with the terrain that we have, the shades that come out onto the field, the sun. But at the same time, I think our hitters just feel really comfortable in this box. And at the same time, as a coaching staff, we try and make sure that they're comfortable in every box that they're in, right? So, you know, it's great to win at home. I haven't been successful at that the last couple of years, but this year we were. So it's a good feeling. They're comfortable here. That's all that matters.
Successful you were as a whole. I mean, you guys are 17-8 now, and you guys made it to the county finals for the first time since 1984. What does that mean to you to be able to coach that?
Getting there is you know, the amount of support that we had, and especially the amount of support that, you know, people have reached out with, and, you know, giving credit to us. It's not me, it's not anybody else but the players. It's, you know, my coaching staff gets the players prepared, but at the same time, getting there and being a part of something that hasn't been done in 41 years is really important to us, and especially me, because I love the tradition here at Union Catholic. But, you know, being able to coach in that game, unfortunately we came up short, but being able to coach in that game against the best team in the state, you know, and they're continuously proving why they're the best team in the state, you know, I, you know, just feel that being there was a once, you know, could be a once in a lifetime thing, but we're going to try and make it an every year thing.
I totally believe you can, because the future of Union Catholic baseball looks bright. You had your starting pitcher, Chris Tortorella, the freshman, pitch the entire game. He pitched a complete game, and it was absolutely beautiful to watch him on the mound. How does it feel to have the freshman like that, have that confidence in him?
Oh, I mean, Chris has been phenomenal for us. We lost Noah Sosa early on in the year, and then we lost Ryan Williams, who was a big piece of this rotation. And then, you know, we kind of leaned up against the kid. I said, well, we're going to go to battle with a freshman who's been really good for us on both sides of the ball, offensively, defensively, and then you add the pitching to it. So we feel really comfortable, and especially after the Westfield win, throwing a freshman in the county semifinal against his hometown, you know, was a little bit of a dicey call, but he lived up to it. He was ready for it mentally. We kind of prepared him for it. There could be a chance weeks earlier, you know, and he just had to do his thing, and today he did his thing again. So, you know, consistently he's just phenomenal and so much fun to have around.
100%. I mean, listen, you can look years into the future. You can look at Chris Tortorella. You can look at Luigi Sacca. But, of course, we want to look at tomorrow, okay? Second round of the state tournament versus St. Augustine, who you lost to last year. Did that change the mentality going into it at all?
No, absolutely not. You don't live in the past. You live day by day, right? You can only really change what happens the day you're living. So tomorrow's a new day for us, right? We're ready. They said it in the huddle, right? We're not going back there to lose our season again. They're a really good team. They're the number 10 team in the state, but I feel like the team that you watch today should be ranked in the state, right? I feel like we proved it. I feel like we've done a lot of things. Yeah, we've lost to the number 1 team in the state 3 times, and we lost some tough games early on, but at the same time, this team is a different team from when we started. They understand their roles. They understand what they're supposed to do, and they understand that the game of baseball has to be played from start to finish, right? When the last out is made, whether we win or lose, they understand that, you know, tomorrow's a different story where we don't move on, we don't play again, right? So they're going to go everything they have tomorrow, and they understand that.
I completely agree. I mean, it's important to have confidence in your team, right? But of course, I'm going to ask everyone this. I've asked every player I've interviewed. You wake up tomorrow, it's the big game. What is your pregame meal? What's your pregame ritual? What does it look like?
It is a large iced caramel coffee with almond milk and cold foam from Dunkin', and a bacon, egg, and cheese wake-up wrap. And then when I get here, I'm going to say to Dr. Regan, I'm hungry about 5 times. And then we're going to get on the bus and we're going to be ready to go. Listen, the sun comes up the same way every single day. Tomorrow's no different from today. Al Ashmont gave us that speech, and I really appreciate it. I'm going to stick to that. They're actually crossing off their goals that we have for the year. So today was win one state game. So we won one state game. They're crossing it off. But at the same time, we're going to go into tomorrow. The sun's going to rise the same way. We're going to have to play a game, right? No matter who we play, I think we're ready for it.
You got to keep your life consistent. I love to hear that from you. So thank you so much for coming on. We really appreciate having you here. We haven't had you all season, so this is a privilege right here.
Yep.
Last home game, man. Look at that.
Yep.
Well, either way,
Appreciate it.
I have faith in you guys. I'm sure everyone does, seeing the momentous game you had today. So, appreciate it.
Absolutely. Thank you.
All right, thank you. And this right here is the last home game of the season. But tomorrow, this is not the end of the season for baseball. 2 o'clock tomorrow, St. Augustine. You got to see them. You might have to pay for it. But hey, I'd pay to see that because it's going to be a thriller of a game seeing this Union Catholic team play. So, I'm Evan Florek. This is Union Catholic Livestream. And as always, stay tuned.